So do they wait? ESU said they announced the MPGR thing,
Oh,
which I think. I mean, I
cool.
already knew about that, but
I
I didn't
mean,
know that
that's
was
what I
public.
expected.
So we're actually gonna get a list. That's kind of hype. I think that's good. We should get a list, right? We have enough results, right? This
Would be
that's enough
nice.
results for a list. We have main stage, we have low tide city, we have riptide, we have Smash Summit, uh, the first both of them, and we have the SWT regionals and the SWT finals, as well as online results, whatever they count for, right? Like to me, that's plenty to make a list,
Yeah.
right? Like it's not as big as obviously other years, but that's enough, right? Plus there are local results, like there are local land results, like that should affect things,
hmm
but it's enough to make, and we really need a list. Like we can't
I want a
say
number
if
in my
we're
name. Give me one.
you want, yeah, get somewhere. You
You
want to
know,
have a year where you can say, hey, I was whatever they're gonna give you. You might get top 10.
I'm definitely
Main
number one
stage
in
looks good.
SoCal right now.
Oh, the guy wins one vertigo.
Verdugo. And secondly, I won several Verdugos. By several, I mean two, but I've literally won every other. I've won like every other local I've attended here. Like I've won all the mugs. I've won every UCI weekly. I've won every pizza time. I've won like the new norm thing. What do you want? I have winning records on S2J, Fiction, Lucky.
Wait, what? Wait. No, no, no. We're wrong.
What?
We're so okay.
What?
What? This is not
What?
what I thought they would do.
Oh,
So they said they're starting the MPGR season on Jan 1st, 2022.
oh, that's lame.
And they're splitting up 2022 regionally. Which I thought 22 we just get one list.
All right, blur rankings. We need that.
Dude, what the fuck, man? We need a freaking rankings. This affects if people get sponsored. This affects like everything. Like I'm sick of calling Zane sixth.
Give me a sponsor.
This is. Does this mean no 2021 rankings at all? Are you
Blur,
shitting me?
blur, blur. Blur rankings, right?
I mean, that's what we got to do, right? Are you
ah,
kidding me?
give me something.
So, so no rankings for 2021, and then 2022 will be only regional.
I guess.
I mean, okay,
Maybe ask
2022
for
being regional, I'd have to.
clarification.
2022, yeah, I want to ask for clarification. But 2022 being only regional, what do you think about that?
I mean, if there's international, I mean, if there's no restrictions, I think that doesn't make any sense.
Well, there's probably going to be some restriction.
But
Maybe
if there's
there.
gonna be
I don't.
restrictions that like last throughout the entire year, then yeah, I can see it.
Will there? Like, um. See, the thing is, I don't know. Obviously, none of us know. But, um, like, aren't we having like Pipsqueak go to summit and stuff? Like, isn't didn't Amsa just go to our last summit? Like, is that one? You know,
I don't know. Like, it feels like international restrictions are starting to lift. So it's like, uh,
hmm.
it seems like an odd move that they're not doing it now. Like that just further exemplifies why 2021 doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get it, man. Like, I thought what they were gonna do was we're gonna do regional rankings for 2021, and we're gonna say fine, and none of us would have a problem with that, right? If you really want to be a stickler, you can do West Coast, East Coast for the U.S. And then therefore online results would be like more legit. Um, and then I thought they would do just straight up rankings for 2022. You know, that's what I thought would happen, right?
I don't know. We'll see. I don't.
Am I crazy? Like, chat, tell me I'm crazy. Like, Didn't you think that's what they would do? Isn't that the logical course of action?
Yeah, I mean, we could like DM them, and be all like, "Is this precisely what you mean?" Because like I
I
could see it being interpreted two ways. It could mean retroactively, or they could mean like starting that date.
what?
I don't know.
But this doesn't make sense though.
I heard that they're gonna be doing some kind of ranking where like they do like a PR rather than like, well, not, how do I say this? They do like a tier list rather than a ranking, which they're basically ranking, but it's not official.
So
End of 2022. So that's they mean what you're concerned about.
so I'm interpreting it correctly? Chat. This is this doesn't sound good though. This sounds bad. Um I don't I don't know, man. Um like I know that it's never been perfect for us to mix it. Like it's always kind of been a joke, right? Like we're just kind of ranking Triff based on feel sometimes. But that's how we're ranking everybody, bro. Like it is kind of a joke, but it's our joke and we're cool with it. It's fine. Like say la vie, like we got kind of get it. Um so 2021 just straight up okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't
got
think it
cooked.
says here I don't think it really says here that 2021 there's nothing. It doesn't actually say that in the statement, but it
Yeah, I
does
think they're
imply
gonna do like some kind of compromise where they're like saying, uh, oh yeah, this is the threats of 2021. I think is their compromise. But hey, that's why we have the blur rankings, right?
I mean, it's true. Like any of us could just make rankings. Like that's how they, you know, someone asked, "What's the history of how PG Stats became our ranking system?" Um, Tafo, me, some others, but it was almost entirely Tafo. Made a MIOM rank with like MIOM as panelists. That's what we used for like 5 years, and then he didn't want to do it anymore because it's a shit ton of work. Um, so he asked, "Hey, who wants to do it?" Panda Global was like, "Yo, we'll do it." So we gave it to them because it was like, and they did a great job. They, fantastic.
So far.
From that, they've, yeah, and truthfully, COVID's a weird year, and COVID's been weird, and so I don't blame them for, you know, not doing rankings, especially in 2020, right? 2021, I think there should be rankings of some sort, just regional ones or something, right? But 2022 being regional still, like big question mark. And then 2021 getting no rankings at all. Like if that's what's actually happening, I don't know yet. Like I can't confirm or deny because I have literally no idea.
In the
Um,
first month of the season, they will be publishing the Path to the PGR Contenders tier list. I think that's how they're making it up.
what is that? I don't want that.
Yeah, I know. I know. That's not what any of us want, but that is what's gonna happen.
I don't want that, bro. Um,
Blur rankings, blur rankings, blur rankings.
what?
You have your medium platform. I think you could do it.
I you're telling me we're gonna get Path to the PGR contenders tier list? The fuck is that,
It's a tier list.
bro? I want a number next to a name.
It's
Like
their
that's not
way
what.
of not ranking, but
How
ranking.
is it that the whole internet is obsessed with lists? We have thousands of lists on the internet. The internet is just lists. The whole internet is just an avenue to make lists, right? The internet's an excuse, a technology we devised to make lists. And yet, in our community, we can't make one goddamn list. How hard is it? Just make a goddamn list. Just
Blur
drop a list.
rankings.
Yeah, but I'm gonna drop. Dorian's got a point. If I make a ranking, I'm putting myself at number 0. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, nothing's stopping you from ranking yourself number 0. That's for sure. Just
That's
like how
right.
in every single SoCal PR, it's either Mango's ranked number 0 or 1.
I'm just gonna put my pretty face next to 257th at main stage or whatever the fuck I got. I got owned, dude. It was so bad.
It's like that didn't
Um,
count. Didn't count.
that didn't count. That didn't count.
I
Our
have the final
subjective
say in the
ranking
blur
was
rankings. It just doesn't count.
yeah, yeah. It doesn't count,
Eye
bro.
test, bro. Eye test.
Eye test, baby. Yeah. So I think that's look. I think obviously we should clarify because I don't think this statement's particularly. I wish it was clear. People make clear statements. I don't think this statement's particularly clear
It's about as
on
clear
like
as the Nintendo circuit.
that one's also unclear. Everything is come on, guys. Give us the juice. I just want the juice. But what this seems to be saying seems pretty bad to me.
Yeah.
And I'm not really here for it. Like I don't know, man. I don't like bumping elbows though, bro. Like if they want to do the rankings, like I don't really want to do that. Get in their way.
But it
Step
seems
on their
very clear
toes.
they do not want to do a 2021 rankings.
Yeah, and it's like I think everyone wants one.
Yeah.
Like
All it
everyone I've
takes
ever
is
talked to, it's like, yo, we should just do something. Like this feels like an unpopular way of doing it.
all it takes is one man, one blur.
I guess, man, but do I really got to do it?
No one else is gonna do it. You know how the Smash community works.
And do I have to really make a panel and shit, or can I just do my list? Because
I mean, up to you, dude. How much you want to be criticized? It's like, do you want to do it by yourself, which is it's like a lot less work, but
have
you
you
make
have you
one
gotten the
mistake.
impression that people's criticism like drives me in any way whatsoever? Has that ever been
Or you
impression?
want to split the criticism by saying, "Oh yeah, we had a panel make it, so you can't just blame me."
Have you ever gotten the impression that I actually give a goddamn with the rats on the internet thing? Like I don't even, not even one. Like of all people, I just don't care at all. Um, but um, it might make it a better list if
Yeah,
I had more
I
people.
mean,
That's the
try
reason
to
I'm
make it
doing it.
traditional, I guess.
Like just like a maybe like a I could get like his panel of 5 people,
Yeah,
not
just
like
like get
go
melee
all out.
stats on, and it'll be good.
Not get an all out list, but like just like 5 fucking people.
Yeah.
Panels were important. Yeah, I agree. Like I think it would be a better list.
Hmm.
Um, but not like a 30 person panel because
Yeah.
that's just a lot of work.
I've always like I really didn't like how rankings were done, where like, hey, we're gonna get the players to rank themselves. I'm like, do you guys really not see the problem of doing that?
Uh, yeah, the players ranking themselves is generally not that good.
It's like,
And
why are you giving them the power to rank themselves and other their competitors as well? I thought that was like the most questionable thing by far, of like really letting your players have power to rank themselves and other people, which by the way they're notoriously bad at ranking other people.
yeah,
It's like, you really
I
want
mean,
Music King's evaluation on number 85?
you just want a bunch of nerds, right? That's
Yes,
like
like
the
that's why I think like the only people that should rank it are like melee stats people.
it's like people who actually are really into it.
Yes,
But aren't the melee stats people like usually PGR like that's the thing, right? Like,
yeah.
would they be like, I don't know if I really should be on another panel because
I mean,
I
if
don't want
they
to like
get the
go behind
queue that,
Panda's back. And
but
it's like,
but like, what's the problem if 2021 will not have a ranking?
that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah, so there's no
But
problem.
you never know how people feel, you know.
Oh, well,
Anyway,
yeah,
look. I said it before and I made the commitment. I promised, right? Basically, like, look, if y'all ain't gonna do a fucking ranking, and the community needs one. Community needs one. So I think 2021 should be regionalized. I don't think obviously we should have
yeah,
Europe and North America in a list when Europe can't even fucking come here.
yeah. I agree.
For a lot of the year at least. Um, Same with Japan, right? Like I think we should just make. I don't know. So by the way, they just don't care about Latin America. What's the deal?
No comment.
Separated in 3 regions: North America, Europe, and Japan. I guess North America includes Mexico, um, but I mean it definitely does. But the point I'm trying to make here is that like for Ultimate, like Latin America is the best region, isn't it? Isn't Latin America better than any other region in Ultimate? I thought that's the whole
I
thing about Ultimate right now.
I
It's like
think
Spargo versus Leo Grands every time.
I mean, don't they technically live in North America though?
Yeah, I mean they're in Mexico, so they're gonna be put in North America. But like it's not like the players in like Central and South America are absolutely nothing. In Melee,
Yeah,
there's not much we it makes complete sense. But
yeah,
I thought in Ultimate it actually is like a considerable number of people.
yeah. I mean, um, they'll deal with it as the problem arises. You know, maybe maybe I don't know. There's not much. I obviously do not have any expertise in Ultimate, and it's their I just think it's really weird that they're doing it like starting at 22 rather than like now, where that makes like the most sense. Who
I think
knows?
their idea is that hey, no one knew we do one. I'm just like, bro, that sounds like a personal problem. Like, why didn't you announce it then? Like, I don't know, bro. You got like we were talking about rankings like 5 months ago, 6 months ago on the timeline, being like, yo, you guys should do a ranking, and they just didn't announce that they were going to do a ranking, and I was like, but you guys should.
There
I like,
our consolation prize is the contenders tier list.
dude, what the fuck is that? It's like, hey,
It's a tier list, bro.
you're in the B tier. I'm a proud B tier player. I'm a B tier melee player. Hell yeah.
Yes,
Like no one wants to be
that's where
fucking.
Geo is.
No one wants to be a god. Is that where Geo's
Geo's
a
a
sad
proud
B
B
tier?
tier melee player.
Oh, poor.
That's what it's
Oh,
gonna be like. People are gonna make fun of him for being a B tier melee player.
yeah. Oh my god, dude! Imagine being a D tier.
Oh my god!
Oh my
So it's
god.
like the A tier. There's like the S, A, and then like F tier. It's like, yeah, I don't
Oh
think
my
this guy's
god.
shit.
A filthy D tier player, bro. A filthy, filthy D tier.
Yeah,
And the
I
funny
have a
thing is
feeling
that,
that they have the foresight to not name it D tier. They're gonna be like, oh, likely, very likely, and unlikely. I don't even like the unlikely tier.
yeah, we're all gonna call it D tier. It's gonna be great. Even no matter what they name it, we're gonna clown on it, right? It's like, uh, I don't. So, I mean, the funny
Regional
thing
threat
is
tier.
regional threat tier. Oh my god, a fucking regional threat, Geo. So sick. So sick. He's a regional threat. In a way, by the way, I think a tier list, the truth is the skills do come in tiers, right? That's
Yeah,
the truth. It's like in a way, it's kind of a better format, because skills do come in tiers, and like the difference between someone who is 48th and 42nd is usually nothing,
yeah,
right? Like literally nothing. They're the same skill level, but it doesn't really matter. We want a list. Like it actually has nothing to do with if it's more or less accurate.
valid.
It's more about, bro, I don't want a fucking S tier with, Mango Plup, Zane, IBW, blah, 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 all just put into one fucking tier. Like, that's whack. And I want numbers next to their name because you put every top player into the top tier, for example, and then what are we even talking about anymore? Now you can be
Yeah,
like, okay, well, we're just gonna make a Mango Zane tier. It's like that's still whack. Say which one's better in your opinion. Like that's what the whole point of the exercise is. Like
yeah.
we want to say who's number one for the year. Like that's the fucking point. Um, and so I don't know, man. I don't really want a tier list. I don't even think I'll learn anything. I won't have anything to talk about. Oh no, Geo is in the D tier instead of the C tier. I'm rioting. I'm not gonna riot about that, but I might riot because they put my favorite player like 2 spots up and down. Because that's fun to talk about.
The local farmer tier.
Local farmer tier, is that where like who's even in that tier? Who really?
Kels.
Okay, 6 years ago. Okay, like, are
That's
there
how I
local
imagine who the
farmers
local
anymore?
farmers are.
Is it like J Flex?
Yeah, actually, unironically, yeah, he's kind of a local farmer.
kind of farms low locals, but I mean his locals are pretty hard, so I don't think he actually farms them.
Yeah, Smuckers, Bobby is definitely a local farmer.
He's just out there planting the crops, farming every day.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's D tier as the local farmers. And then SoCal will be tricky because you can't really farm SoCal.
Well, I thought the best in SoCal could farm SoCal.
Well, yeah, but then like, are you gonna rank them as a local farmer or like A tier or S tier?
I think
M2K
Mango.
starting out
I think
link tier.
I think Mango would be put in S tier, bro. Best in SoCal, you deserve to be in S tier.
Yeah, true. So it's
Second
like,
best in SoCal though, C tier.
who knows? Who knows? Uh,
Anyway, the general point is that I'm immensely disappointed.
I think the idea behind the tier list is that it changes every month. It's like not the official ranking. It's just like an appetizer. I think that's my guess.
I don't know. I would love to know. But even if it changed every month, I don't care. I want a list, bro. I want a list, bro. Like, who asked for a tier list? Did you ever want to be on a tier list?
The YouTube content. That's what it is. They love tier lists.
Is it an ordered tier list? You know how some people say, "Oh, like if
It's
like how we
definitely
make
not going to be ordered. You know them.
They wouldn't make a tier list if it wasn't on. Yeah.
Yeah, it will definitely not be ordered. Are you kidding me? That's so much work.
There are people who literally should be ranked right now who didn't start playing like when the last ranking was made, right? Like, right?
Yeah.
There's people who've gotten good in the last like 2 years, right?
You know, Ingen.
Ingen, right? Like you can argue that he could be ranked.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but definitely on the Japanese regional list.
Yeah.
And he started after their last list. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how long we're talking about. It's been a long time.
Yeah, long time coming. And he's not going to get rewarded for it. I'm not going to get rewarded for it. Zane doesn't get rewarded for it.
This is a fixable problem, but it's one that you don't really want to fix because you wish they would just do it right.
Yeah, just do it. Like, you have all the power PG stats. Just do it. You could, like, literally do the work, and they have to just publish it. But it's like, what? But it's like, they're not going to do it.
I don't get it. I really don't get it, actually. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like everyone. I don't think I'm alone in this. I feel like, for the most part, everyone I've ever talked to about this is saying the exact same thing. Like, we don't care if it won't be accurate, bro. We actually don't care. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's never been accurate.
But we had it was something at least.
It's never accurate, but it's something, and we want something. Like I guess maybe they think that like their 2019 list is like the epitome of accuracy or some shit. But I personally like felt like once it gets past like rank 25, it's kind of a shit show. And
yeah, it's like wow, I was number 70 in 2019. Surely I could not have been number 68 or something.
Or not even just that, but like number 40 and number 70 are all in the same tier, like same like level-ish. Like it was just like whoever's doing the panel at the time is kind of like that level of variance. And also international players were always just weird and whatever. It's like, but it's fine. It's okay. We were super about it. We loved it, in fact. But we didn't mind because we just needed a list.
Nah, I didn't care.
I've said many times that I think that overall these subjective lists are just, the best option that we happen to be choosing right now. The better way to do it is like the point systems, like I've talked about before, which is so weird here, right? Okay, so this is actually I figured out what my real problem with this is.
What?
They're saying they need to tell people beforehand when the ranking period is.
Yeah, I guess like maybe that's their problem is that like they didn't like it wasn't known that 2021 was supposed to be like ranked at all.
Here's my thing. If you are going to say, hey, our rankings are a season, and we need to tell people when the season starts, and then they know which tournaments are included so that they can fight for their ranking, right?
Yeah.
If that's the fucking case, then why are you doing subjective rankings? Like, if you're gonna say that, then you know when the ranking period is. Just add a bunch of tournaments to the ranking because you already announced it to say, hey, these are the tournaments, and like Genesis counts for X number of points, and some accounts for X number of points, blah blah
So
blah, and then make your list that way.
so
You know, like
you're
if
saying
they're gonna
that
do
this
it this
is
way,
you're saying their reasoning is flawed because they're not giving points of like they're not doing a
well,
10 assist in
I'm
ranking.
I'm saying if you're going to be so like seasonal and so like based on, hey, we really care about telling players beforehand, the stipulations of the season and the ways that they can get higher ranked, then give them the ways that they can be higher ranked, namely a system which gives them points, right? Because currently they don't know how they can get higher ranked. Sure, they can go to tournaments and sure they can get results, but realistically, it's a fucking subjective panel. I don't know what it takes to impress them. Like most of the time, you do really well at like a Vertigo, and like if you do that Vertigo in like a
Verdugo.
February, a Verdugo, excuse me, whatever. If you win that, like no one remembers by the end of the year. You know how
Yeah.
these sort of lists are,
Yes.
and that result will literally be valueless. It's not counted, right, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's impossible to count because there's too many of those kind of results. And so, like with a subjective list, there's always those sort of blind spots. Like that's always going to be there. So I just feel like if you're going to make it so seasonal, like I actually kind of like that. But if you're going to do that, like go ahead and do a fucking point system because that's just better.
Yeah. So
Um,
it's like retroactively saying that uh like it's okay to do rankings now because the rankings is already so subjective to begin with that you might as well just do it due to the subjective nature, even if you didn't let them know in advance.
I just feel like if you're going to have a scuffed list, own it.
Yeah.
Like
Just say it's like,
and
okay,
we're
yeah,
okay.
we know this sucks, but like it's something, alright? Enjoy it.
Yeah, and we're down. By the way, we're down.
Yeah.
Is what we should mention. Is that
Yeah.
like I'm fucking down.
Yeah.
Also,
Whatever.
Gnomesec invitationals. You can do points well with invitationals. I don't want to get into the nitty gritty of like how you would do that, but it's super doable. It's not that hard. A lot of other scenes do it. I help devise point systems for other leagues and esports. It's not that complicated. Anyway, or you can say I don't want to count invitationals. Whatever. But or you can say you want to do a mix of points and subjectivity, where it's like a panelist, like points are half of it, and then a panel comes together and then they're like half of it. You could do any of the above. But either way, I think it's super weird that it's like, okay, this is a super seasonal serious system that we have to all be super serious about, but by the way, we're like subjective as fuck. You know, like if you're like if you're just putting a list out there with like a subjective list, I don't really see why. Like people are already making lists of who's the top player right now, right? Like everyone does it on stream. It's
There's
like,
the
oh, this,
IBDW list.
yeah, exactly, stuff like that. It's like, hey, let me just write up a BS list. Like, there's no real difference here. Like so there's no actual difference. So it's yeah, there's a panel, I guess, but like ultimately,
And hey, that IBDW list has made me more concretely aware of where I am than any other list because none other exists.
yeah. I mean, I think the argument of like, hey, players should really know, what counts and what doesn't makes sense if you had a point system,
Yeah,
right?
but we don't.
Because it's like you'd be pissed if like, yo, Genesis counts for 20,000 points and I didn't go, and so now my ranking's low,
Mm-hmm.
right? You'd be pissed. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah,
Completely makes sense,
yeah.
right? But in a subjective list, you could not go to Genesis and you could still get really high ranked. You
Which,
get
by
what I'm
the
saying?
way, they do that for the ultimate PGR. Like they do give points, if I'm not
I think
mistaken.
they used to do that. Do they still do that? I don't remember. I mean,
I
they've
don't know, but
literally
like it makes
PGR in
sense for
2 years.
Ultimate, but never for us.
Yeah, so basically, like, but you get what I'm saying, right? The difference between why pre-planning matters for a points list versus a subjective list,
Yeah,
because again, you don't go to Genesis, you can still get ranked just as high,
yeah.
literally just as high on a subjective list. It doesn't matter, right? As long as someone thinks you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And truth is you can make up for it with other tournaments you go to, locals, whatever. It doesn't actually matter what you go to and you don't go to in a subjective list. Like it's pretty much you just have to do enough for someone to be impressed. That's
Mm-hmm.
like that's like all you have to do, right? But in a points based list, when you skip out on the big tournaments, it really matters because then you just don't get the points that were offered at those tournaments,
Yeah.
right? Which is another reason the points based lists are just better is because they incentivize attendance. And also, point systems are better because we don't just call people like Mango and Zane the best, even though they have one result or two results for the whole year.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother reason why point systems are better. Point systems are just better. That's why sports do point systems and no one does this nonsense. But forgetting all that, okay, so you don't really need pre-planning to do a subjective list. So why is there pre-planning involved here? Like why be so like feel it's so necessary to say we can't make a list unless we tell people a year beforehand that we're gonna make a list, right? I just think that's insane.
Blur
So
rankings.
there's never gonna be a list unless you tell people a year beforehand that there's gonna be a list. Just make a goddamn list.
Blur rankings. You say a lot of good points. If only the PG staff was here to hear that, maybe they would reconsider. But I'm pretty sure they're pretty set on their ways, and they're not. They don't seem like the kind of people to go back on their word with once they make an announcement like this.
Maybe I don't know. I'll ask them. If not, I guess we'll make a ranking. I don't know. I don't really want to do any work though. You know me, Kodo. I'm trying to beat
Hey, listen,
River.
just delegate this work to Melee Stats, and they will make something happen.
I guess. Uh, you know, I'm trying to beat River City Ransom right now. Actually,
What?
I'm on like the final area, like the NES game, River City
Yeah,
Ransom.
so then delegate the work to Melee Stats. They don't get it. They've done this before.
Does anyone in chat want to be a panelist?
Listen,
Dorian,
I
you made some really good statements in Twitch chat. I'm down to add you.
listen. If you
Who
can't
am I
find
looking at?
anyone, I could join. But there's obviously a conflict of interest where I am a player.
Do you think the blur ranking gives a goddamn about conflicts of interest?
Okay, fine. I'll rank myself number one.
All right, sick, and I'll accept that. Ballot, by the way. I'll be like, well, if he thinks that way,
Let's
I mean,
go. Let's go.
it's a panel of my peers. Who am I to say, bro?
All right,
Yeah.
get me on there.
Just
Uh,
like I think if it sounds like we have to do this thing because PG Stats is being weird about this. If it happens, I want people to know it's. I want it to be very transparent that this is just a scuff list that we're making
yeah.
because
No, this list sucks.
we have to, because we fucking have to.
Yeah.
Like just let us make a goddamn list so that we don't have Zane number 6 anymore. That's the whole point.
Yep. Well, that's the plan, right? Just get a bunch of handful of volunteers unpaid and have the internet out there criticize it. But hey, we made the rankings. We know it
Those
sucks.
volunteers are paid with the knowledge that they helped their favorite player get ranked higher.
Woo! I'm down.
And that's fun. That's what every sports fan
That's
wants,
how
right?
I got
Like
tricked into doing TMT. All right, you guys could do the same.
what are you talking?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god.
volunteer. I'm trying to make a storyline. All right, don't
It's such
change
a
it.
lot. I got tricked into doing TMTs. This kid was just like, "Yo, we're just running TMTs." I'm like,
uh,
"Oh, okay, okay."
well, Geo's streaming now. I gotta go soon. It was
Oh
a good
my
talk, Blair.
god. Oh my god. And then I sat there and watched it have 15 entries. I was like, "This." I just had my name on it at some point. I have to help this.
Which I'm grateful for. Very grateful.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's now the biggest online weekly in the Slippy era
In the world.
in the world. But yeah, thanks a lot for the talk, man. It was
It was fun. I was bored,
a
and you
lot,
know
a lot
me.
of
All right.
insight.